we want you to stick and stay with us so that we all can go through the agenda for Monday. So let me now use this opportunity to cross over to my host and welcome her to this very, very unique conversation after a very long day of the weekend. How are you doing? I can remember the last time I was going to say, thank God we're going to rest more for this week. So, how you doing?
It's good to be back after a long weekend, a restful weekend. I would like to thank God again for another opportunity to be here, counted amongst the living. And to all of you joining us via our social media page, we'd like to say thank you and welcome to Open Conversation. How many more days to elections? Today is the 18th.
I think we have 20.
We have 22 more days
20,
or what?
24, 23, 24.
Nope. I did
22?
Yeah. 30 days after September.
Oh, okay.
So September got 30 days. We got the 18th today, so we got 12 more days to go.
Yes,
and
12 more
days.
The
10th. Okay, so we can, tentatively say 21 more days.
21 more days.
Yeah.
Yes.
Then can you imagine that? I can't even believe that we got just 21 days, and then we are electing, our
new leadership.
Board of leadership. That is awesome. 3 months ago, 4 months ago, we were here thinking about, oh my God, what is going to happen? How is it going to go? People are going to start, campaigning all over the place.
21 more days.
Yeah. Way less than a month to go. And then we are, into this whole election and it's behind us and we're moving forward as a country. So it's good to be here. And let's do it. Who is our guest tonight before we go to what's trending?
Exactly. So today we are going to be into district number 14. We're going to be talking national politics and district politics as well. So tonight we're going to have with us Chester Nisi. He is one of those contestants in district number 14. So we're going to be talking national politics. We're going to be talking this platform for Liberia, and we're also going to be talking the interests of the people of Liberia and district number 14. So Chester Nice is here, and we're going to ramble into the issues.
Great. We don't have much time. We know that it's election time. A lot of things are happening. So let's get into what's trending. And then on the halfway mark or at the halfway mark, we will speak with the deputy campaign chair of the CDC, Garrison Yelu. Tomorrow, we understand that in Belige statutory district, there will be an official victory campaign lunch, and we'll be speaking with him live from that part of Liberia to know exactly what they are up to there in Nimba County.
Exactly.
So let's get the ball rolling.
So let's get the ball rolling. The first thing here, Liberia, you've got to know that the lady Jessica has spoken to the media. And she has explained a totally different part of the story that was explained by the American National.
Lucas, right?
Lucas Richard, very good. You remember the name so well.
Yeah, sure.
So violence against women and most especially brutality to that level that would have led to murder. Alleged, like, so I think we condemn that. So over the week, Jessica said something that she and Luca had this roundabout trip, and they were meeting out, they were having some fun, and then Lucas had a different intention. She spoke about her 3 months pregnancy and how he injected her and he started to give her some pills over the time, and the pregnancy, was removed. And she started to take this infection, pills and all of that. She also said that when they started up on this trip, she did not notice the mind of Lucas, not knowing Lucas had a different intention for Jessica. But Jessica did not take note of that. So they did a roundabout trip in the Battersville area, in the place name, Deesville area, all of those places. From one end to another. When he says he wants to use the latrine or he wants to urinate, he said, "Oh, I see, what the thing name? I see animal in the bush. Oh, come and see it." He will have the stuff in his hand. He wants to hit it. Then she said, "Oh no, I'm gonna say I'm scared, but I'm standing here." And she did not, go with him on that. But to a point where Lucas had to even take her into the graveyard, persuading her to go into the graveyard that, sometimes in America, we can go to the graveyards to see, the time people live and the time to die and all of that, to take a, quiet time. And, but.
They play the people listening, they want understand.
No bogey, no bogey.
Jessica, when you the American men say, let's go to the graveyard because, in the graveyard, we can just look at people, the death, when the time they died, the time they live, all that. But his true intention was to kill her.
Exactly.
But she was afraid.
Exactly.
She was scary.
She was scared.
So she said, I won't go to that graveyard.
I won't be embarrassed.
He wouldn't drag her because it was embarrassing.
He took
her somewhere around a creek where a lot of people were. His intention, he was just looking for someone
looking for a spot to kill her.
Yeah, he was looking for that place. When he met a lot of people there, so he was embarrassed. At the time, then he wants to pee. Or he wants to do something else, or he sees an animal. And she noticed that he had a knife with him. Yeah. He did that until he got to where it was easy for him to slaughter her.
And to the point,
but she said something that the motorbike boy had noticed something.
He was observing.
Yes. And so he kept telling them, this guy who rescued her. That's how, according to her, she believed that, this guy was stealing them.
Exactly. When he parked the car and he said the tire had a problem.
Yeah.
So you be losing it from the next side, what I'm doing it here, and he kind of put a strash in her hair before she make up her mind.
He said something was in her hair. Yeah, he wanted to take it from there.
Yeah.
And so she
did.
I'm sure she had some, sometimes you're in a position where you
sense trouble.
Yeah, you're troubled because somebody you're with is acting very funny, but you still don't want to tell that person that you're not
normal.
Yeah, what you're doing is not normal because you're thinking maybe I'm lying, maybe maybe I'm reading something different. My mind is telling me something different. I don't want to believe that this person who I sleep with, who is supposed to be my husband, is the one, thinking about
like
something.
this.
Yeah. So you just want to keep it cool. But just thank God she didn't die.
It's staggering.
Because he wanted to take something from her hair, believing him, trusting him as her partner, and then he hit her from the head, and then she fell down, right? And she fell down, and then she just said she felt something.
And he got over her.
Yeah, and then he took the knife that he had, but then she was weak. She wants to wake up. When you are hit like that,
you become unconscious.
Yeah. And so thank God for that guiding angel who was telling them. And this boy just came because she saw him over her, slitting her neck, but she didn't even know what was going on because she was already
unconscious. Yes. And it was how, according to her, the boy brought a stick and she was rescued. Thank God for her. But like you said, boss, like you said, Jessica, the mother of the family, I don't know if they were overwhelmed or what came over them.
I mean, we'll pass that story. In life, people do a lot of things, but the thing about it, that man is called a missionary. For you to be a missionary and killing people, that thing was going to rest right on this government's head. They were going to say the government is involved in killing people. That's the same thing that happened to that other girl who was found. What is her name? Oh my goodness, I'm forgetting her name. There was a young girl who just left her friend and said she was going somewhere, and they found her body somewhere in the Spainsville area. Her body was found.
Okay, I think I'm
that was a big story. Just forgetting her name. Somebody will call tonight and say that. And everybody, all fingers will be pointed at the government. And these are the kinds of things that happen.
Exactly.
You come from all the way America. You hear you're a serial killer. Who knows how many persons he has even killed. And his intention was to kill this girl. And thank God he's going to, justice is going to take its course.
I met him today. I met him today at the police headquarters. I was there today. I saw him there. And he was being interrogated.
I just hope that, he gets served because that guy
he will get served.
A alleged serial killer. But to even think about it, and you saw him, how he lied through his teeth.
It's a different story.
Yeah, he was just and you could sense the lies in his mouth when he was even talking.
If to say he doesn't even know this lady.
He might be killer.
Yeah. As if to say he has not had encounter with
they
this
use
lady.
the Bible. They come under the disguise of missionaries and people
Pastors and preachers and all of that, and they're killing people.
Killers around here.
Yeah.
And thank God moved from behind because he thought Jessica was going to die and that his Coco story was going to suffice. But thank God. Let's move to something else. Yesterday, the Unity Party launched.
Yes.
I have to call.
So yesterday, the Unity Party launched. I think we have two more issues. The Senator Dillon and
yeah, sure. Let's
So the Unity Party launched, and I think there's this debate about pulling crowd. Everybody's like, we put a crowd. But crowd politics in elections is something that you can depend on. Now there are many factors, right? There are implicators when it comes to political crowds. These things can be supported based on certain reasons and to identify or to bring out, or to prove certain things. That, this other person has crowd, and in order for me to match the competition, or in order for me to bring about a debate, I must be able to do X, Y, and Z to be able to, equate myself to the human publicity of this. No. Crowd politics in elections will not be a sustainable debate because crowd is deceiving. The same very people that can go out for John Brown, these will be the same very people going out. The most important thing is the message that the people are receiving. What is the message? Now, in September, on September 7, there was simultaneous, political parades in the country with CDC. They had it in Marquee, they had it in Cape Mount, they had it in the counters. So so if we see the issue of crowd, debating on crowd, let's agree the Unity Party did a similar one that they had to put out people came out. Oh no, nobody can deny that people didn't show up. People show up, but that should not be the issue. That shouldn't be the issue. The issue should be about the message.
Okay, I agree with you, the message, but unfortunately, I didn't really understand exactly what Ambassador Bouaka, said yesterday because he didn't even speak much, and the words were not coming out, so I didn't understand exactly what he said. My thing is, crowd is issue. Unity Party should go right back to 2017. The crowd they pulled when they launched the campaign was even more than what they pulled yesterday, and that did not, translate into the votes because Unity Party won, overwhelmingly won one county out of all of the counties we have in Liberia. Two, I listened to Yomdi Kanga Lawrence, senator, on the night before the launch of their campaign. She was on Spoon Talk, and then she says, I'm sure that slipped out of her. Sometimes as politicians talk, the things that they say, sometimes they kind of, how did I say this? But she said, the people are here, they're camping, they're camping around here. Who comes to, who lives in Montserrat County and comes to go to the how do you call it? The Antoinette Tutman Stadium. Who does that? I can leave my house in Johnsonville and go to the Antoinette Tutman Stadium if I support a political party. I don't have to camp. Mm-hmm. There were, buses, there were pictures, video recordings of people, being trooped from Grand Bassa, and other parts of the country just for that launch. And I'm sure that is, God can do everything for the best. That's something that just slipped out of Senator Kanga Lawrence's mouth when she was speaking. She was overly excited, talking about what they expect to see. And she said that, but I was like, whoa, who comes to go to, that place? But what do you want to prove? They did well yesterday, a number of people came out. The only thing, my boss said to me yesterday, and I just thought that, and I said, yes, that's true. Sometimes we don't think about it this way. The only person you can lie to is yourself, because you know exactly.
You know what's up.
You know what's up.
You know what's up.
You want to put in my head that, this is white, but you know within yourself.
You know what you did.
It's just not white. It's cream. And you want to say it's white. So it is what it is. But Unity Party, going back, they pulled crowd more than yesterday.
But like you said, the 2017, they're taking it from an analytical standpoint. They put up crowd in 2017, right?
Overwhelmingly one county.
And you saw the results, right? So like I said from the genesis of my conversation, that the aspect of,
No, it's
putting
an
up.
issue. Trust me, it's an issue because the Unity Party is saying now that they pull crowds, so nobody can say that you're going to win a one-round victory. They said the debate of a one-round victory,
Has been
it has
suspended.
been, because of the people who came out yesterday. So then my answer is you brought people from other parts of the country. That's one. Two, the people you pulled out yesterday were even lesser than the people who came out in 2017 for you. Yet and still you just won overwhelmingly one county. Two, that's two, right? Three, those people who came out yesterday you cannot compare that crowd to the crowd that came out for the CDC. Unity Party was in power for 12 years, and they're in the opposition. Another fact is that when CDC was in the opposition, when you comparing crowd, because they always say that Montserrat County, that is why I was even disappointed in Senator Dara Zilon, because you are the senator who overwhelmingly won this county, but the people who were behind you yesterday did not even show that you are indeed in charge of Montserrat County.
Senator Dillon,
You're not in charge of Montserrat County. That's what it showed yesterday.
Senator Dillon is a senator who has won based on the sympathy of the collaboration. So a lot of people have taken it back when it comes to their support to Senator Dillon.
If he is a good leader, then those people who supported him because of the collaboration he will make sure that he maintains those people.
We're talking to Cynthia last week. In the CDC or in Bond County, you saw what happened, right? People who are supporting President Ria, they have different other people to support.
Of course.
You understand? So even if Senator Dillon,
because people who are lawmakers have not been able to carry themselves properly,
Exactly.
and people are frustrated.
Exactly.
My point was to end on that with the CDC and the Unity Party, that we always say that the opposition always has Montserrat County. That did not show yesterday. When the CDC was in opposition, if the CDC came out, even though Unity Party was the ruling government at the time, you will see the show of strength when the CDC decided to come out, because Montserrat had the opposition. But that doesn't seem to be the case right now with Unity Party being in the opposition. But again, I say the only person you can lie to is yourself.
It's yourself. You know what happened. So let's speak with Garrison.
Then we'll come back to
the last talking point. So we're trying to establish contact with Mr. Yelu. There is an upcoming program, a specific and enormous event coming up for the CDC in Nimba County.
Hello. Yelu?
Yeah.
Good evening. Welcome to Open Conversation. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing good today, and good to be on your show again.
Okay, it's great to have you. So we heard that tomorrow there will be, an official victory campaign launch in Belegate statutory district. Am I right?
Yes.
What does that mean?
Tomorrow, we wanted to have launched our victory campaign for the CDC on day before yesterday. But we felt that if we had done so, they were taking advantage of our crowd in Campley and pretended to look like it was their crowd. So we decided to push it in front of tomorrow. So tomorrow will be the victory campaign launch of the Martin Coalition for Democratic Change in Campley City, Belegate, South District. And I don't want to just preempt. You will see the crowd for yourself, and you will know what we are doing in a part of the country in Nema County.
When you said they would have taken your crowd, what do you mean?
Because all the other, if we have had our launch on Saturday, and then they were having their launch on Sunday, most of our people that are going to come who have left there, and then they will maybe want to see what they are doing, and they were taking that to be an advantage for themselves.
Or then they were going to invite them to their program. Is that what you mean?
The people are going to be watching them to see what they're doing, and then they were going to take all of them. Those are our people there.
Oh, okay.
So we said no. So we push it from let's listen to all. Already have their program. Yesterday they have a little over 300 people there to their party office in Campley. They say they were launching. But tomorrow you will know whether when the having a program in Belegate, you will know who is the typical son of Belegate South District. So tomorrow you will see it for yourself, and you know that we're not joking. When people sit in Morovia and talk about crowd, our wicket is very strategic. And what we have been doing tomorrow, get a prelude to the president's visitation in Nima. When they see what will happen tomorrow, and then when the president gets in family, they will know that in Beliger, the people are not ungrateful. The
So
president
why?
did not give job to a son of Beliger. Since 1964, the first of it, that a son of Beliger is heading governmental agency as a head. And then you see the people in Beliger will not vote for this president. It's a joke.
Is it the same Beliger where Senator Johnson comes from, or what?
No, Senator Johnson is from Zouge Sanctuary District.
Okay,
But,
so there's Beliger statutory district is coming out, is having a victory campaign launch for what now? Is it because a son of that?
In our pre is victory campaign launch tomorrow. The slogan of our campaign is victory. We're not it's in pre.
Okay, victory campaign launch. Is it because a son of that district was given a job by the president? Is that why the people are so happy and they're repaying the president, or is it a CDC stuff?
No, Titi, the first thing, the first of it we have the Alpha Paved road going to Doguato.
Okay.
As we speak currently, the road is incomplete. Not just that, this present bill, an operator catered at the Campley Health Center. And just recently we have, for the first time, we have doctor assigned there.
Oh, okay.
This president is about to read the market. Back of agency market day.
Oh, okay, so it's because of what the president has done in Beliger statutory district. Now I get it.
Yeah, not just about me. It's about the achievement of this president.
Oh, okay.
Now I
You
get
see,
it.
today, people, when the president gave buses to these high schools in Nima, they say, well, not enough. But guess what happened?
What?
When district number 3 team will play in Gamta, they will now have money to host the team in Gamta, but you know what they were using to carry the players? The very bus that the president gave that Senator Johnson condemned. It was the bus that was there that was commuting people from Campley to Gamta. So you see what is happening? In fact, when we carry the bus, the children said in 1952 that this president is giving them bus. So now the issue, the parents sitting in Campley, they get bus by taking them to school and from school. You see what is happening?
Okay.
The rule is there. The president is doing everything he can to make sure that our people will feel the presence and the impact of government.
So what you guys are doing tomorrow is totally different from what then you have another one that is coming up when His Excellency gets to Nimba. So that one is just for Beliger, right? Or is it going to be happening?
The president will be going to Campley.
Okay. Oh, he's not going to
tomorrow.
Okay.
He will go to Beliger. Campley is in Beliger.
Oh, okay.
So tomorrow is just a prelude to what will be seen when this president is coming.
Oh, you're showing shake it. You're giving your opponents shake it tomorrow so that they know exactly what to expect, right? Or even more.
Look, it is, let me tell you. When it is always lead today like election is tomorrow.
Okay, I get it.
Even in my private practice. All I practice in Morovia, they will tell you that you never can be enough for a joke.
We'll see you tomorrow. All that be more making.
Let's see your strength.
You can send your drone, you can send your reporter to come tomorrow.
They'll be there.
You will see human being in conflict.
And how sure are we that is going to translate into votes? That's another thing. You can pull the crowd.
Did you pull crowd in 2020 on December 6, 2020? In Campley, we pulled the vote there. We got the vote. So the people, one thing I know about the Guild people, they will not come to program when they are not for you.
Okay, so that's why they didn't go to the program yesterday. Eh? You said only 300 persons attended the Unity Party program yesterday.
Yeah, go to that page. You'll find what they did yesterday in Campley.
Okay.
And tomorrow, I will say tomorrow after the program, we'll say the full video, then you can know who is in charge.
Okay.
You know, when I listened to Senator Johnson in the morning, and he said, I'm in Morovia, and he's saying that we're there, we're beating people, we're doing this. No. You know what is happening today? We have given Senator Johnson and Senator Cohn 3 weeks in our area to campaign. They campaign without any form of violence. We allow them. We never give anybody hard time. When they heard that I was in the district campaigning for the president, they started to send people behind us, insulting us, causing confusion. You know what I'm saying? Then they come and tell you, say, oh, we are doing this, we are doing that. When they were there, we didn't go there. We waited for them. But when we go there, then they come with confusion. That is very unprofessional. The election will give you a chance to campaign when it's time for us to campaign to get our chance.
I totally agree with you.
Okay.
When another party went there, I think I will eat your studio. I told you they will eat there. I will get that chance.
Mm-hmm.
So you will tell me I will not campaign in my own area? No. So they should stop. I think when people talk about violence in this country, we should know people who have history of violence. For me, I don't have any history of violence. The history I have is peace. I have always pushed peace. So I don't think violence can solve any problem. We fought the war for 14 years. Nobody won with a bullet. What we won was peace. Everybody sat on the table and decided what was good for Liberia. So we should continue to be peaceful in our country.
Okay.
And we should stop violence.
I totally
Violence
agree
has
with
no
you.
place in our society.
Okay, we'll be following tomorrow to see exactly what's going to happen in Belega's statutory district. Honorable Yelu, thank you so much for talking to us.
Yes, the evening has to speak now. If you call him, I can't do this. Time is damn far. I need to go tomorrow morning.
Okay, we'll follow.
Yeah, so, the time right now to speak. You hear, or you're all around it. So we are not joking.
Okay.
And, you know, for me, look, if you follow my record, I don't like to boast. But I want to show results. And all these things we're talking about toward them, we will know.
Okay.
Okay.
People will take people serious in this place. You know, like today, somebody sent me listening. I said, look, whether it's posted or it's fake, but for me, that list, it's not fake because I know on the farm in Ganta, that thing was discussed. And my name was one of those names that they mentioned that they were going to fill in no matter what happened tomorrow.
Okay.
So
We'll see what happens.
When the listing comes out and my name is on number 14, then it means that they just justify what they say at the farm in Ganta.
Your county full of all kinds of things. We hope that the elections come and go, safely, and nobody, gets hurt, because election is democracy is, it's an exchange of ideas. It's not about, going after people. But again, Senator Johnson has that history, so you never know what he's up to. You just have to be careful out there. That's all.
Look, I'm a child of God. And
Senator Johnson is a preacher man. So
you know that
there are people who preach with bad Jesus that in the book of Acts. You don't know that?
Let me leave you at that, Martin.
Yeah, we wouldn't get done with him.
The bad Jesus in the book of Acts. So I'm not using bad Jesus, I'm using the real Jesus.
Who's using a bad Jesus? I Senator Johnson using a bad Jesus?
So you go do your
No, I'm asking you. Are you better
bad Jesus?
So I'm saying, if somebody can say, a preacher man who goes on the podium and on the pulpit and say, the person put more for me and die. Jesus Christ can say the time we live is a dispensation of grace. So people should be saying, we forgive each other. The person did the thing to me, I forgive them.
Okay, Chief.
The person did that thing to me, I
We're going into Bible. We're going into Bible now.
I'll talk to you about your program tomorrow. Thank you.
You don't know.
We're going into Bible.
Okay.
We have other things.
Let me leave you at that. Thank you so much.
So let's we're going to Bible.
We're going into that. We'll still give you time to call. Trust me.
Exactly.
I know the honorable, the incoming honorable will have mercy on us.
Yes. So let's talk about the last issue. The issue that has to do with.
And then when we play the clip, then we talk about it, and then we open up the lines. At least we can take 5 or 6 calls, and then we get our guests.
Yeah.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Sobo. This is Sobo.
I'm not, sir.
Oh, I thought you didn't know, because this time the friendship has been severed down. You don't want my friendship anymore. All right. I called basically to have it informed that we send our OB there. This is something that we planned since last week, and I called the chair. I called Reverend Ludo Tame to have it informed. He promised that he would have sent me the itinerary. He didn't send me the itinerary.
Can I speak officially for the campaign? We don't need ELBC around.
Oh, you people don't need ELBC around you people?
No.
So we should withdraw.
Take it as an official statement.
We should withdraw our OB.
Without inviting ELBC, and they won't come on their own at the business.
But you're not
We don't need to know.
How come we invite
So if you, but then we don't need to know.
No, we want you to know so that you can be.
No. Now that we know, please withdraw yourself because we don't want your
So you don't protect our men, you don't protect our equipment?
The government, they will protect. The government will protect everybody.
No, I'm asking you.
We are all under the government protection. You won't record this interview or make it official say. Yeah. No, I give you go ahead to quote me or interview me. I say we don't want ELBC. We're not inviting ELBC, period.
So we're talking about this thing that has to do with the politicians and the press, respect to journalists and all of that. I was just affected this going Saturday by some people attacking me, and we see the same thing being established by the senator. But we're talking about arrogance. That's our major point. Now, ELBC is in no way, against Senator Dillon and the Unity Party and all of that. If you are having a major program like that, a national program that has to do with concern for every citizen, and you've been called and say, oh, our reporters will come there and blah, 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 and all of that. And then the senator comes and say, we don't need ELBC. As if to say Senator Dillon and ELBC have gone a loggerhead. And I don't find this out because I see this to be, a form of, I don't know what to say. I'm short of words to listen to the senator, try to make ELBC to look like, we are some kind of institution that, I don't know. I can't find the right word.
So the fact of the matter is, ELBC covered the program yesterday, regardless of that, arrogance from Dillon. And there were some folks in the Unity Party who saw it fate that, they will protect us, because if you're over there and you have people like Dillon who doesn't deem it necessary for ELBC, the state broadcaster, to cover, your
program,
the Unity Party program that is seen as the major opposition, then something must be wrong with the senator. Because if nothing is wrong with you, then what is it? They hate or what? You will be out there tomorrow and saying that, the state, we are denied coverage by the state broadcaster. You did not ask for it. We know we are obligated to do that. The Unity Party you support today did not give opportunity as, to opposition parties, as, the CDC government is doing that. President Weah, his government officials do not have a problem with that because they know that that is the right thing to do. It's a state broadcast and it's for everybody. That's what the space has been opened for every one of them to come here and say what they want to say. It's left for the Liberian people to make their judgment. Mm-hmm. But how will you, a senator, who are a senator from Montserrat County, where we have the state broadcaster, and you say to, the head of media services, who's just trying to get in touch with you, mm-hmm. to make sure that our, equipments are, protected.
Our staffs are protected.
Yeah, because that is
anything can happen.
Yeah, the equipment we're using, that's an OB. We have to set up, so we need permission, and any responsible entity will do that. But again, the arrogance, Senator Dillon, arrogance is just 6 and 7, and it's sad. Because he is a disappointment to the people of Montserrat County. If the state broadcaster is in Montserrat, where you are the senator, you can imagine if this, character takes state power tomorrow, what he's going to do. We're right here. We heard, his political leader say that, he's going to cut the government down. He also went back on social media. Vice President Joseph Boakai said that he's going to cut the government down. So civil servants get ready. But he didn't even stop there. He went straight at the Ministry of Information. and says there will be no, information.
That means there's a specific target on the press.
But Senator Dillon, who is senator from Montserrat County, to target the state broadcaster or people who work at the state broadcaster and see them as, they shouldn't go anywhere. Do you even know whether people are here who are voting for your unity party and they work? That is how you people behave, and then you hurt your own people. Because you say, we don't want ELBC there. So if anything happens to anybody from ELBC, you say, I told them not to go there. But you as a leader should not be threading that path. That is not a good sign of a leader. That is not a good sign of a leader. But again, you are a leader of Montserrat County. That is why when you came out yesterday, Senator Dillon, it was just frustrating and disappointing because we thought you as a senator of Montserrat County, when you see the crowd behind Dillon, then you say, yes, this man is in charge. But these are some of the reasons why you don't even seem to be in charge of Montserrat County, because of the arrogance.
Yeah, but like I told you, there are political disagreements.
It's just sad.
These are things. Yeah, these are things that we need to talk about. We need to talk about, and we must be able to protect ourselves. Good evening. Good evening.
Good evening.
Go ahead. You have a few seconds. We don't have time.
Thank you very much. I'm Emmanuel N. Tupac Jr. and I joined my resident in this community. Let me say thank you to you and to for the platform. Normally I want to play the listening role, but I think I have to call you because of the Dillon. And this senator has lost his grip on Montserrat County owing to his lying activity and also to his arrogance. I'm appalled that a journalist will call you from a state broadcasting system and say, we want to call your program. We are telling we don't need you people here. Then stop the arrogance. That is why when I stated by the United Party, not just Senator Dillon. Senator Dillon, he's one of those persons that's very supporting the United Party, for which I don't think Past President Joseph Party is going to be president in this country, because we are resolved to re-elect President George Mann. We are on a first honor. So I think we have a 9-year job, and the people of Montserrat County is a complete misfortune to them.
Thank you.
We have to live with.
Thank you. Thank you. Good evening. Good evening, sir. 30 seconds. What's your name and where you
Yeah, thank you. I'm Chibla calling from Lokita.
Go ahead.
Yeah, my brother, look, the reason why they don't want to story. So, man, for 2 minutes. So, they don't want to carry the story because they're only in the station. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, y'all want to be there, want to address today. So, like, I'm saying, I want to say.
Okay.
This is a play that I feel the people of Montserrat. So, that is she was doing it. Thank you.
Thank you. Good evening.
Yeah, good evening, Washington, and good evening to this city. I can enjoy you guys, but I think TD should have been a good spokesperson for the CDC than President. We are appointing us to be one of the
Go to the point.
That's my point I'm making.
All right, that lies within the purview of the president.
The analysis and KTT always making, I don't know, maybe it's because you're seeing that things are going against her or her political leader. That's what you always say that analysis. Yeah.
Go ahead, against me. Who am I for things to go against me? You got nothing to say.
You were appointed by President Weah as director to ELBC.
It's no secret. So what's the issue?
What's the issue?
You're no more playing the journalistic role.
Yeah, because I'm telling you what the senator is doing.
One person for me, I'm a follower of the radio. One person that I follow at Kings FM. But since you come to
ELBC, you still following me on ELBC, still following me, you will follow me, trust me.
Yes, sir. Good evening.
Yes,
Go ahead.
Yes, this is Honorable Solomon Chipo, independent candidate from District 13.
Let's hear you, sir. Can you lower the volume of your radio?
Lower the volume, please, Honorable Chipo.
Okay, let me walk.
You have to do it quickly, sir. Honorable Chibo? Hello?
I think he's off the line. Let's take this person. Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening. How are you, madam?
Good.
Good evening. How are you?
Go ahead, sir.
My name is Mama calling from Sana.
Go ahead.
Thank you for the program. You know, Mr. Bilal, I wish Mr. Saba should continue doing that. If Mr. Saba continue doing that, that would be okay because there's no way they will be saying, ELBC only for the government. Yes.
I don't know what's
It's
on
gone
the
off
lines.
Yeah, it's I think let's just take this final one and then we'll just leave it as it is. Good evening.
Hello?
Good evening.
Yes, good evening.
Let's hear you, sir. We don't have time.
Yeah, you know, people shouldn't be bothered about that. You know, first of all, he's highly illiterate. You know, they're not go to school. So what should he be bothered about?
No,
he coming
that's not the point
to the program.
That's not the point.
You know what I mean?
That's not the point.
So, we are not care about the poor cry. What cry? You know what I mean? Until what time we prove the result.
Okay.
Until what time is the final justification there? You get what I'm saying? So we're not bothered about our so-called cry, the poor cry. 3 years notice for poor cry. This cry is matter of fact.
Thank you.
We didn't get time for people that they don't know. We did not even go to school.
Okay, we're going to leave it at that. Our guest is already with us in studio. I want to hear what that representative candidate wanted to say.
Yeah, that's what that's saying. That's Mr. Solomon Chipo. Please, we have 1 minute for you. Please, you can call as quick as possible. Okay, he's calling. Let's get Mr. Solomon Chipo. Mr. Chipo, you have a privilege to be a part of the conversation.
Yes, thank you very much. Sorry, my line was bad.
Go ahead, sir.
Yes. Yes, in relation to the discussion, so I was just calling to say we're ready, you guys as journalists, we're ready, all of us as stakeholders, we need to already work together to make sure that at least journalists are safe in their coverage, because whatever happened to you on Saturday was a disgrace, because you know, we have people who have hooligans behind them, and when you go and cover a story somewhere and you don't have the necessary protection, it's a disgrace. So I just called to say I'm sorry for what happened to you in District 13, and I think next time we'll probably have the police and a lot of people around to make sure that these areas where you guys are covering stories are protected.
Thank you very much.
You couldn't have said it any better.
You couldn't have said it any better.
These are the kind of statements that come from, that's what a leader should be doing, instead of what Dylan is doing and telling people, don't come and cover us. We don't need you. Who are you, may we? The same people you come to and say, I want your vote. When you're in power now, you think that you have arrived. And so you just talk down on people anyway and anyhow. What kind of leader does that?
Mr.
And these
Chipo,
are the same people you're coming back to and asking them to elect you as your leader. 9 years will soon be over, and you come back to the people of Liberia, you come back to the people of Montserrat County and say, elect me. But you forget to know that people at the state broadcaster also elected you. That is why you guys are going around and telling people that you're going to cut down the civil service, people will not work this other ministry. I know you're targeting ELBC. Who cares? Who cares about that?
Let's leave it on that. I think we'll go a little.
Touch ELBC, you touch us, because we work here. And if you would say we shouldn't cover you when that is our job to do it, then we would tell you the truth.
I think we have gone into our guest time. So tonight,
we're sorry.
We apologize to. I think you got to.
What mic are you on?
To the microphone.
What mic is that? 3?
Mark 3. Yes, Mark 3. So tonight we have with us representative candidate Mr. Chester Nisi. Is that Nisi? Nisi. Okay. So representative candidate Mr. Chester Nisi from district number 14. He's here to talk a lot of national politics and district politics as well in this platform. So let's use this opportunity to say, Mr. Nisi, good evening and welcome. Can you get to the microphone, sir?
Good evening to all, and good evening to the listener as well. And thank you for the invitation.
Thank you very much. Welcome.
How are you?
I'm good. Good, but not totally good.
Tired?
Not tired, but I think I got laid.
You got the cold,
fever.
Yeah, it comes with the territory. When you want to run in an election, all of that happens because you have to be in the trenches and running campaign here, there. But anyway, we wish you speedy recovery. Tell us, who is Mr. Neese?
Well, Chester Taudi Amanis is a son of Liberia by tribal background, global crew, and connected to the VA Angola as well.
Okay.
And I was born in Moravia, grew up in between Caldwell and Clarendon, and officially I settled in Clarendon 1986. And went to school, graduated, went to college, completed 2017. I left for the United States in 2011. But before my leaving, I worked with the late child Walker Bronsky. Before working with him, I served on the national youth wing level, served as national vice chairman for planning, national chairman youth wing as well. Worked with him as special aid. And later, after the election, I established a nonprofit organization in 2006, Youth Instinct of Humanity and Developmental Action. I was the executive director. Through World Bank, UNDP, we got the drainage cleaning and clearing project from beer factory to the new bridge. World Bank project worked with over 500 young people and work with Mercy Ship, trained nurses in dental education, HIV, work with healthcare volunteer international, served as a country director, was able to bring medical supply to this country. The Sodium Wing, the Tapetan were firstly open, the Clarendon Clinic, and other clinics, and brought over 8,000 worth of books to Liberia through the International Book Project, through other colleagues who was in Liberia through connection with distributor. Dr. T had got the best medical book at the time, University of Liberia, Accounting and Economic, AMU, and other university, high schools as well. So with that background, I went to America in 2011. And based on my humanitarian work in Liberia, I choose to get a career that can provide more income. And I went into IT. I did computer forensic, networking, information assurance, database management, and got some certificates in a lot of IT. Worked with the state of Minnesota as IT chain coordinator of the state. I later worked with a private company because of my expertise, and finally established my small business through working on that because my interest was to see
small business way in
America.
Okay,
I got some here too. My interest was to see where I can learn something better and create more income in order to give back, because I got this idea and I built a passion. I was doing that previously through a community-based organization, but I learned that from an organization after when I went there for treatment. So I just decided to grow my passion. So I learned something much more better. My income, I was up to a level. I established the Neese Educational Aid Foundation in the district 14. And I got a program that I attend to old people from 60 to 65 healthcare program for old folks in District 14.
What part of District 14?
All right, the entire District 14.
How does that happen?
It happens through the initiative. What we do is that we bring medication. I come in with medication, sometimes sending medication, and we buy some local job, mix it all together. And we invite old people to a specific location. What we do is that we call them and we provide food, we provide entertainment, sometimes music, check on Lulu and other things. And we check the blood, the sugar, the pressure. We got nurses right now in the district that under the Neese Educational Foundation. And we test the blood, the sugar, the pressure, and other things, and we provide medication. And that has been impacting a lot of people in the district.
When did you start doing that?
It started in 2014 when I paid my first visit to Liberia.
And how is it done? On a periodic basis?
It based on because
every month, once a year,
the
twice a
target
year.
was like three times every 3 months, right?
Okay.
But it also depends on my financial strength because I push it based on my income. It's
Okay.
income driven initiative. So I do that based on how I make profit,
Okay.
right? So it has been an ongoing process. I've impacted the district largely.
It has intensified now that you want to run in the district, right?
Right?
Now you're running in the district, so that has intensified.
Yeah, it could
Okay.
be part of it,
I
right?
like that.
It could be part of it.
Okay.
So
now that it
just
has
process of-
intensified, how do you do that? Is it now 3 times a month or is every week?
Like I said, for now, I slowed down because of the financial status. I'm into Liberia. I don't have much income. The school I run it as well. Almost everybody going there free, the computer school. So there's no income. I don't have a business. I have a business, but it's not pushing
computer school
income.
is free?
Yeah.
They don't pay a cent?
They don't. The only thing they do the badges and the material to be used.
What
For
kind
that
of
purpose,
material?
the t-shirt, like
materials are there.
the materials like they got like the
Computers are there.
hanger they use for reading purposes and other things. So the equipment are there, but you take material to use in order for practical purposes, right?
So how much
like
do
you
they
go
pay
to
for
school.
the material?
Actually, I think the overall is about 25, some 15, depends, right? But I'm not too deep into that because that's my primary thing is to ensure that I provide that. And from the administrative standpoint, in order for the
It's
process
your
to
school.
go on,
Whether I'm paying $10, whether you're not deep into it, it represents you.
no,
So, yeah.
that is true. But when it comes to the financial breakdown, the administrative breakdown, I can give
No, I was just
full
asking
analysis
how much,
on that. That's my point.
how much is, a person spending, because you say it's free. Somebody might call and say, I'll go there, but I didn't go there free. I spent this money. That's why I'm asking you.
Right. That's what I just spoke
It's just
about.
concerned about the entry.
Yeah. They
It's
just
absolutely
minimum
free.
fees in order to
They
get
pay minimum.
the ID and other things, to get things.
All right.
But my primary concern is to draft into my legislative agenda.
Why do you want to be a lawmaker
that's what we're
in that
going for.
district?
Right, because I got a lot of experience. I'm here with a package, and Liberia need to have that.
What is that package?
Okay, let
Please
me address
unpack
the
that
issue,
package.
right?
Yes.
Okay. My primary focus is to see Liberia living from one level to another level. And not just because this is what I have gotten and this is what I've learned over the period of time. We always doing the same thing and expect better result, right? And for us, God have given me in person that blessing to travel, to see other things, to acquire quality education, to experience the working environment, to understand the cultural differences, right? So, and I've seen lawmakers who just into the process to actually understand the value, the norms.
What are the norms
right?
and values?
The norms and value are things that are attached, right? The social contracts, you put yourself in the process to represent the people, right? There are things you're supposed to be doing in order to benefit the people in general.
What
right?
are those things?
Like I said, the social contract, basically providing the laws that will govern the people in order for them to have the full governmental support. There are a lot of laws that can be created in order for people to benefit. So let me touch my agenda because I like to speak on issues I have control over. Right?
But you want to be a lawmaker, you say, there should be laws that are going to help.
I want to address issues that will be in line with what I want to speak about, right? So let me address my legislative. I don't want time running out. It's very important for Liberians to listen to.
They're listening.
Right? So I'm here to introduce the HERBS agenda. The HERBS agenda to provide a common understanding is like you will say the country medicine, right?
Okay.
The H for education, the H for health, the E for education, the R for reconciliation, and the B for better leadership. So let me address the issue of health, right? The issue of health is when the issue of the old folks health care program comes in. In this country, let's just give a scenario. The 14 years unrest civil crisis have passed, and that 14 years affected a lot of people at the age. The young people at that time, and the idle at that time. After the war, most of them sold coal. Some of them selling coal, oil, cobalt, and other things. They don't have NASCAR benefit. Even those that have NASCAR benefit is not sufficient enough to manage our old people. So one of the things we want to provide through our legislative agenda, the bill we want to provide, is the old folks health care program that will impact the life of the old people. There's a saying that says, before you plow an old mat, you must sit on the new mat. Our old people should be around for our advices, should be around.
I'm saying you turn it around. So you should sit on the old mat to
plow new mat. Oh, okay. Probably that's an error on that, right? So I think thanks for the correction. So we need to ensure that our old people have better lifespan, right? And in this process, we choose to introduce the bill and make sure that this bill hold in order to benefit the old people in Liberia in general. The old folks health care.
What is that bill seeking?
That bill seeking in order to seek the health. They have to provide health opportunity for people in the age of 60, 65 years of age. So when you reach that age, government should have that provision based on our laws that we're going to pass. That when you reach that age, you should have an insurance card or ID card. When you go to every nearby clinic or any hospital, you should be treated based on the card you have, as long as you reach at the age of 65. Like I said, our people are suffering.
That were free?
Free.
Who will pay for that?
Government have a lot of opportunity. Let's take, for example, if you can spend 80 to 65,000 to buy a car, right? A vehicle. Just take the amount of 15,000 of that money and save it.
But you also have to, you will have to also amend whatever policy that comes with buying 50,000 car or 100,000 car.
We will address that issue. But what matters most is to see how well we can secure life.
How do you secure life? Because there's somewhere you're taking the money from. There is something that has to say, we're not taking this money for this purpose anymore because we're diverting it to this.
There are more revenue. There are more means. And there are a lot of ways government can raise money. And they're raising money on a lot of projects. So we can direct some portion of that money in order to maintain our old people in the country. It's not something. I'm not a financial expert, but the thing is very clear. No, not seeing why, but the reality is existing.
That's right? The reality. The reality people need that existence.
So let me tell you that you know how many wasteful money in this country that they use on other things that now actually benefiting our people. Then when you think about people who have put the blood and sweat in this country, you don't think it's imparting the benefit from that? There are a lot of opportunity government got, and there are a lot of money they can put in the budget to make sure that our people have that health opportunity.
But tell us
they live very well. You have to give them the opportunity to speak
I don't want you to run into it. I want us to take it
engage the
little
issue.
Bit. I want us to do it, slowly, because you're just saying. I want to bring you back a little bit. You said there are a lot of wasted money anywhere.
I give a case study on that.
Where is that money?
Government spending money on a lot of vehicles, right?
We just talked about the vehicle,
right?
But even for that to happen, sir, you cannot.
So
if there is a policy,
you're looking at me going into the house, right? You don't think I don't know the ways and means that I can provide that opportunity?
You can provide an opportunity as a single lawmaker.
I have that's the reason I put in a bill. And in the process of putting a bill, you have to lobby among your colleagues, right? You don't think I have the ability to do that?
I don't know what
there are laws on the book. It's not sufficient enough to benefit the country. We gotta revisit some of the law and look at things that are important. As you spoke about vehicle issue, I said like we can cut some of the money that spent on vehicle to be directed to the old people. He said, look, there are things that there are laws there why the people have to get a vehicle. We can still go into that.
You don't know that?
We can still go into that. But I'm telling you that we can address it, we can engage the process, and we can find a dialogue and find something that can benefit our country better than what you think.
Look, what you're talking about is a fine idea for older people,
right?
But for that to happen, we want to know exactly how you intend to go about that. That's why I keep asking you these questions. When you
the first way I intend to do that is to present the bill.
Okay.
The second thing is to lobby among my colleagues. Right? I think that's the thing you're supposed to be discussing. But you're going in there. When we reach that part, we're going to cross it.
Or you want the people to elect you before you asked how it's going to happen? Because before you go there, you should already have an understanding of how you intend.
If we present the bill and the bill is passed, you don't think that there was a proceeding that we went to?
What if it doesn't pass? What if it doesn't pass?
If it doesn't pass, I don't believe into my supposition, right? My name Chester, right? I believe in what I can do, and there's a possibility that it can be passed. It depends the presentation. It depends on the concept. It depends what into that.
There is a possibility that cannot go. It will remain, in committee room.
We're trying to build a new Liberia, right? We don't create room for negativity.
Do you think you're going to church?
In order for us to,
do you think
this is not church thing?
But
if you see some of us surviving in this society, where we have reached, it's a process. Right? So I'm saying that, look, I'm confident of this. I know what I'm putting forth. So let me address other important issues as well, right? Okay. You want to look, we're dealing with time. You want me to spend 12 hours here?
Forget about the time. It's about let me
first present my entire package.
We into it, sir.
Okay, that's your package. You're asking me to spend a lot of time on a single issue.
Don't you get it tired? The time stay there. Don't worry about that. It's there. With health, is it because I hear you talking about the old folks?
Yeah. Right.
There are old people in your district. There are also younger people in your district. What is the plan for the younger people?
Yeah, you have a good plan for the
old people. What is the plan for the young people?
So the young people.
Every lawmaker that go into the house, they got a bill they're supposed to present. I think that's my starting point, right?
Okay, your focus will be on the old
people. There are other people that come in, right?
Well, they should focus on the young people in your district.
This is something that everybody has to bring bits and pieces in. But I just addressed portion of what I'm supposed to address. Let me address the other issue.
Okay,
Can you give me the opportunity, please? Okay. I know you're using your journalistic expertise, right? But let me do it as a layman and tell my people what I want to do for the country.
Your people also will be depending on me to ask you the tough questions, because it's not about you saying you do this, you do that, you do the other one.
Exactly.
It's about how you intend to do that. They also want to know that.
Life is process. Life is process.
You got 6 years now. Miss
Denise.
It's not your whole life.
Okay, let me address the other issue, right?
If you would be a lawmaker, you're down to 6 years.
I got only 6 years.
Yeah.
And I want to produce in the 6 years. I got 1 hour plus. I want to produce in the 1 hour plus.
Yes, but
can I get the opportunity to produce?
Hold on a bit. Yeah, you stay into that. You're certainly going to go into your platform and what you have for the people. But here is it: the young people in your district have the majority.
Can you give me the opportunity to speak on what I want to speak? We can't do that.
Okay.
It's very important.
Mr. Lee, go ahead. Thank you. Go ahead.
So
go ahead.
That is how we intend to make sure that all people is part of our society and benefiting from the social opportunity, right? So let's address other issue. I'm from District 14. I grew up in Clarendon. I lived life there where I was in a zone round when it raining.
Which part of the ticket you're running on?
I'm independent.
Oh, okay.
Right? Thank you. Stop distracting me, please. The people want to hear something important.
Sir.
Right? That should have been your first question. But
let me determine what question
you're a journalist. I understand your technique. And we can play around.
I don't have any technique.
So let me address the issue. You guys have a technique. Let me address the issue. Another important thing. District 14 has suffered a lot, right? In the 80s, when I was living in District 14, they used to have a team of employees, right, that were managed by the development council in the district. In our district, you see a lot of waste and other things. Right now, I'm suffering from malaria, probably typhoid because I'm feeding from a vein upward. The district, we need to preserve the district. We want to put something into place where we can preserve the district. That had been something we had in the 80s. You will find like the wheelbarrow people going to houses taking garbage and carrying it to a dump site from every homes. And at the end of the month, there was money spent, minimum amount spent. to give to the town hall, the development team, and they were using it to pay these people. You go into my community, you see the waste all over the place. Nobody care. People eating there. You see toilet, you see people pee around the place and people walk in the water, and it's deplorable, and it's not good for any healthy environment. So we're trying to bring that same mechanism into place where it come into fourth, right? One will be preserving the environment for good health, and the next thing is to create job opportunity. We will do it in the form, even if we have like 300 people that in that district that will have a wheelbarrow, go into the district, pick up garbage from every home, go to a specific dump site and put that garbage there where we can have trucks and other things to clear it from the environment, because people are dying. These days when people die, for example, you go to bed, you get up in the morning, sorry for that, and you pass. The old lady who live next door, they accuse you of which, knowing that that person has lived, that sickness developing and damage the system, at the end of the day, it becomes a victim at night. So we want to preserve our environment. That is part of one of our mental we want to use in the district. Another thing, the drainage system, right?
Before you go
Before you go to it, yeah.
So I'm not sure I got the name. How is the structure going to be like?
That will work. I will come to the picture, because many things, I think you ask me question, or people ask me question, but Chester, how do you think to generate the money? I will come to that point. But I'm talking like that would be a cleanup team, right? That will go into every communities and take garbage to take it to the very dump site.
Who's going to pay them for that?
We got two forms, right? Mm-hmm. In our 3 years period,
Can you speak to the mic, please?
In our 3 years period, right? In our 3 year period, right? Mm-hmm. We're going to build a resource center. And in that resource center, we're going to get a lab area, computer lab, place for family and students, counseling area, technical lab, and a lab. And we have staff. In my leadership, as the next lawmaker of that district, we'll have two former staff. The one group are just going capital building, another group will be in the district, and it will be in that resource center, in the office we're going to create. And in that resource center, the staff going to be shared into two. One, going to take the initiative just to create concept note, develop proposal based on what we need in the district. Look for international donors and partners. Send it over to them with photos, information, using my office as a reference. Telling the people, look, this is our, for example, this is our environment. We having too many, our environment having too many unsafe issues that have to do with health. People are dying, people are getting sick, and we having garbages all in the community. And we want to help people educate how to clean the environment. We want to provide staff that will help to take the garbage from one location to another. This is our consent note. This is our sustainability plan. We want you to give support. This is our overall budget. And based on that, we have support, right? Yeah, this is something I've been in there for so many years, money, eh? Right?
They will send you money.
This is why we're writing them for support, and right? That's just another form. Another form, I will use my legislative means, right, in order to lobby with businesses in that district, companies, other grouping, to support the process initiated for us to ensure that it going on well. That's another form.
So you're lobbying with the businesses, right? Let me just stick with the businesses, because I don't want to even go to the international partners you're talking about, but with the businesses in your area, where you talk about lobbying with them, what is your intention? How much do you think a business in your area is going to pay? How much do you think a businessman in your district is going to pay?
Like I said, you ask me a question. How will I raise the money to do these things? I lay the premise. I will come to that point. That's why I list the HELP's agenda, the H for health, the E for education, the R for reconciliation, the B for better leadership. If you give me the chance to address the issue gradually, I'll tell you how I'll get the money.
Yeah, but before you
I'll
get
do
there,
that for
Mr.
you.
Nees, before you get there, now, in order to make this conversation unique, what you need to do is that you have to give her the chance to ask you the exact question.
Because
then
I also want to give me the chance.
Yes, then you will answer. But I think when she's trying to ask you the question, then you want to answer.
It's distracting. Honestly, it's distracting in the form. It's distracting in the form that you not give me the opportunity to present what I want to present.
She will give you the
opportunity.
opportunity.
Forget about what you're saying. Do you when you come to give people your platform, you should already be abreast with what you intend to do when you get to the legislature.
Do you think I'm not abreast of the situation?
If you say I'm going to do this, you must know the how you're going to do it. So I'm going to ask you the question and you tell me how you're going to do that. You just said that you're going to list with companies and businesses in your area. That is another way you're going to generate funding. I said, I'm not going to ask you about your international people who you're going to get the funding from. Okay. I am concerned about businesses in your area that you're going to ask. What is the concept? What are you going to ask? How much do you think each business is going to pay for people who are picking up those garbages to get paid at the end of the month? Because you're creating jobs for people. But what is your thought about that?
Okay, let me address the issue how I'm going to get money from them. Getting money from businesses is just 10% of my focus. And that's the social contracts are going to look into. You got all the businesses in District 14. District 14 is the richest district in Masorado County.
When you talk about businesses, what are you talking about? The shop owners?
No.
Or you're talking about?
You got LPRC, you got National Port Authority, you got Simeco, you got Flour Mill, you got Fulani, you have Jetty, you have Beaver, you have on and on a lot of big businesses in that place, right? One of my concentration when I'm the next lawmaker of District 14, and yes, I will be the next lawmaker of District 14. My first focus as a lawmaker in my better leadership, I will write the House of Executive, right?
You write what?
I write in the Executive Committee in the House, right?
Okay.
Requesting I want to review every agreement, every document of all businesses in District 14, right? Reviewing the document, I want to know the social benefit that my people are benefiting from, right?
Okay.
If by any chance I will flip through it pages by pages, and I know very well there are things in there for my people, but the question comes again: who receiving it?
Who do you think is receiving it?
I don't know whether the superintendent, the lawmaker, the commission, or the development council.
Have you asked questions?
There's no information for that.
Have you asked?
We have asked. It either come in cheap or the misrepresentation with but let me address the issue because I don't want to be too political. So my primary focus. My primary focus at this point, like I said, I will request for every document. I will write the House of Executive and every committee that's responsible for that. When we said I request for the documents to be the copies of the document to my office, and I will review it. If anything that is not in the interest of my people, I will submit it back to the committee requesting for amendment. If anything in that document that in the interest of my people, but they are not benefiting, then I will ask the question, where is it going? But things are not there, I will request for amendment if possible. That's my responsibility as well. So that will be part of my engagement process. If I know something into it, I will use that opportunity.
If you know something is into it,
if
nothing is there,
I will request for amendment.
Okay, you request for
amendment, yeah.
Okay, right. But mind you, all of that you will have to do all of that before those people start cleaning the garbage.
I will use that is why I told you my background. Portion of my background has been in the non-profit making era. I have created room for donors to support programs and projects I have done. I have created room wherein that the state of Minnesota, most specifically NMP County, supported a program that I brought into the picture. So that's something I know about. That's something I can do, right? I have survived other nothing. I have made it something. I know my ability. That is why I spoke from the initial stage. Chester is in the process with experience and package.
Okay.
Right? So that's part of my process. And part of my process, I will convince my community, look, we need to preserve the environment. In order for us to do that, let's clean the environment. We're putting team together. At least a month, if your house can give 25, in order for us to maintain a team, that would be better. But in that, additional to that, I will use my legislative strength to support the process highly. And make sure they have all the necessary equipment.
Okay, so you spoke more about sanitation and health issues. So she was coming to the next question that we're supposed to ask you about education. What is going to be your role and how effective are you going to be when it comes to providing education in district number 14?
Okay, so let me come to the educational part. Right?
Can you talk to the microphone?
Chester Lees is the representative in district. Representative candidate in the district that providing the higher number of educational aid program from the beginning to end right now. And this is something, the reason I value education, because I'm a struggling child. I'm a child from a single mother who has struggled to make me. And in addition to that, I push to see myself where I am today, sitting at this mat and presenting the issue that can make Liberia better. So in my educational program, I'm a technical man from my background. More people in this country, it's not statistic, right? Information, but just from my own observation. Everybody want to do public administration, management, political science, sociology, all the reading courses. We need to build opportunity for hardcore skill development. And how do we do that? But let me address the issue for primary education in high school. In that same thing, I said we're going to build the resource center. In the resource center, we'll have our same staff. We'll have our staff every beginning, before we reach the academic year, we'll present number of names outside there to the international community. We'll present names to other people who have the potential to support our activities. Then in my own capacity, I'll create room that will have 1,000 students. We want to ensure that they go to school. We're not just taking students because we're looking at people who really in need. That name will be listed. We'll use that opportunity to submit information requesting educational opportunity to ensure our people, our young people go to school.
How much you'll be taking from your own money?
My own money?
Yeah, your own
No,
money.
I'm not going to tell you I'm taking it from my own name. I tell you I will use my expertise. I will use my innovation and creativity to provide my own money. I'm using my own money right now.
Yeah, but
I've been using my own money. I don't want to brag about my own money.
But you want to win.
My own money going to be spent.
Your own money. Whose money
this
are you
is
going to use?
Chester. I've been using my money and my money will be used.
Chester,
but let me find other
money are you going to use?
So
your own money because you're running.
Right.
So your money you use. You're not using my money or anybody in the district.
No, I will provide the opportunity. The money will come from outside.
Oh, so all the money now will come from outside.
Because I have the skill to do that.
When somebody is scratching,
I don't want to. No, this is the wrong way that people always use.
Oh, so everything you want to beg for
it,
right?
If they get money for legislative purpose, that will be directed to that angle.
To
that point, right?
For legislative purpose.
They got the house. When they give money for that purpose.
I am saying
right?
There
for
is
development
a saying that
used.
says if somebody is washing your back, you should be washing your stomach. You want to lead these people and you have this playing
if
for
you
the
want
people.
to ask what Chester have done all the time, I can present it.
No, not what
but
you.
I will not talk about taking money off my pocket because this is something I always do. I provided means that other people can learn from.
So Chester,
right? I dare to create opportunity where people can have means of providing that opportunity for themselves, right? I here to provide opportunity, job opportunity that people can see and learn from that. If I'm taking money from my pocket, everybody knows Chester needs. I can do anything to please people. So that's something I'm supposed to be saying.
Easier said than
right?
done.
What I'm supposed to be saying, the ideas, the mind I bring into the table that can bring the difference. That is what I'm supposed to be speaking about.
Okay.
So let's address the issue.
So you were in primary education.
Right?
Okay.
The primary education issue, I will take money from my educational aid. My educational aid will continue. It will be outside the legislative program or outside the district program. I will ensure that we create program in order for people to sponsor. Let's say, for example, have 1,000 students. Before the semester ends or the academic year chose to close, right? We have information out there raising money for people who can't afford to go to school. And another thing, I'm a technical man, I spoke about everybody want to do public administration, this and other thing. And looking at our society now, we lack of job opportunity. There's no internal job.
So what are you going to do
right?
to create jobs?
So what we're going to do, we're going to provide industrial skills.
What does that mean?
Industrial skills that can go on the international market.
What are those?
In my better leadership, for example, right? We sew clothes here. We have done all the sewing of clothes, but we still buying clothes from Nigeria. We still buying clothes from Ghanaians. We go out and buy clothes and sell there. And the same machines they're using, we can buy the machines and get it into the country and train people how to use the machine and produce the. From the initial stage, I spoke. I said at the end of the day, I will tell you where I'll get the money. And I spoke on issue how we can raise the money. I spoke that we can develop proposal, concept note, and donate and present it to people.
That's just an assumption. You're assuming that.
I'm not assuming.
Develop a concept.
It's not assumption.
No.
I'm saying I will do it because I have done it. Assumption means that you're assuming something you have no idea, but you think that's something that can be impossible. But what I'm talking about is not impossible.
No,
it's not impossible.
I didn't say it's not.
You said I assume
impossible. Yes, you're assuming that if you did that, you're going to get money because there is no surety.
You know why I don't want to address the national issue? How I'm going to get the money?
There's no surety.
I will address it at the end of the day in my better leadership. But we always look at the complicated part. Try to make impossible possible at times.
Anybody can say, I'm going to do this, and
anybody can say, but they don't have the ability.
Yeah.
The fact because I have the record
thing you're saying is what people would say, that they have the ability. If they're given that opportunity,
even the first thing, Chester, let me just hold you right there. The fact that you pay a child school fee, that doesn't mean you can pay 10% school fees, so you need to take these things into consideration. So the fact that you provided medical facility and all of that for one person or two people.
I drove into the risk analysis.
Okay.
I'm speaking with facts.
Let me ask you this question.
You're speaking about the risks.
I say
the possibility it may not happen, but I'm telling you it can happen. As long as I'm into leadership and I have the office, I can utilize.
Where is your stronghold in the district?
My stronghold in the district? My stronghold is the entire district.
The entire district?
Yes.
How many registered voters do you have in that district?
How many registered voters?
That's what I said.
It's 43,000 plus.
43,000.
Right.
And all of them are going to vote for you?
It's not possible.
Okay. So what is the percentage of people you think will vote for you in the district?
This is no empirical fight about this, but I can tell you I'm the next lawmaker of District 14.
Okay.
Mike me today to call me back to present.
And who you think is that troubling rabble?
It troubles every one of them.
Who do you think is that troubling rabble? Like
who's
the person who giving you a hard time?
To be honest with the fire, the person lawmaker is my only contender because this is the mayor I want to unseat.
What are some of those things you expected him to do that he hasn't done?
Things that are explaining, common thing that people can make happen. Right? I explain another thing. He has not yet presented any bill in the interest of the people, in the interest of Liberia.
How many bills?
And another thing, I got 3 bills to present right now, and I'm having more to do. Okay. And that thing that can take Liberia from one level to another, if only the C reason. And I will talk about that.
If
we get into the
C
point.
Reason?
The people of Liberia.
No, you're not running in Liberia. You're running district number 14.
Right?
District number 14.
But they are Liberians.
Of course, but at district 14 we're talking about.
Okay, let me be specific.
Just limit it to
because it's going to impact Liberia.
Of course, but you're not running in Liberia. You're running in a certain part of Liberia that is going to vote for you. So you're talking about even if it's going to help me, I'm still not going to make that decision because I'm not in your district.
Let me ease the tension right now, right? District 14.
Okay.
Okay.
So district number 14 is where you're running.
Yeah.
You said, you're disappointed in the current lawmaker because the things that you're talking about here, he hasn't done those things, right? Mind you, those are the things you intend to do. You talked about health. You talked about education. There were
talk about skill training.
What is it?
Let me speak about the hardcore skills, right?
No, you say health, education, what?
He spoke about sanitation, all
and
that.
better leadership.
So let's talk about reconciliation.
I haven't complete the educational aspect.
No,
This
let's
is very
leave it.
important.
Let's go to reconciliation because
no,
we don't have all the time.
I'm not here to speak on issue and leave it haphazard. The reason being is that the most important thing I want to address is how Liberia can create job opportunity. I'm here to teach Liberia how to make money. That is the most important
How
thing.
much do you worth?
Me?
Yes.
I worth my income. I worth myself. Right?
You teach.
You don't have to work.
You don't want to tell Liberian people your
you
worth.
have money, so you know how to make money, and you have money, so you must tell us how much you worth if you're here to teach. Like,
did I tell you I have money?
But you teach people how to make money. You don't have money. How do you teach me to make money when you don't have money?
That is another thing, right? So the instructors that teach people who educate people and they make money today, they got money.
No, that's a totally different
It's
thing.
not totally different.
The people who are teaching you,
it's not totally different. It's in the same path.
It's not in the same path. If
it's
you
not
teach
totally different.
Practice,
so how about the men that teaches the people that teach accounting?
They don't tell people.
What's their problem?
What's wrong with them?
It's about money, right?
I don't know. I didn't study accounting, so I don't know about it.
But let me address my issue, right? Okay. We look at Liberia, like I said, we spoke about the skill training. I gave an instance. She said, how do you bring money to get a machine? And I told her, I said, we can address the issue through creating the concept, creating proposals, submitting proposals to other international groups and other government from outside there that can buy into it. Another thing, they got a legislative development fund. If that come to our table, we utilize that.
If it doesn't come,
I already gave you fallback position. This is the reason I'm addressing my fallback position. They're addressing the money that will come from government. I think you got to look at the smart picture of my speaking here. So another thing, right? Another thing we're gonna do. For example, you find people making soap in this country. We can export soap. We can export a lot of good things. You find, for example, a lot of companies like the company in Kema. You found like a Mental Steel and all these companies. They found other national operating high technical machine, right? So that's the reason I spoke about the kind of skills that we can use outside there. And I will address most of the issue when it comes to my leadership, my better leadership. We need to bring the kind of skill into this district. So my educational focus, one of the bill I'm pushing and I have right now, we want to put forth is the National Student Loan Bill. And that loan bill will only target people who want to do hardcore technical skill. And people will ask, how do you manage that? We'll use the process through central bank. Central bank will manage the process, right? We used to declare something and pick something. Right? But we'll use the central bank and we'll have some laws into place that will guide the process, right? Look, we want to de-governize this country and that knows the problem and provide things that will impact
you
society.
Use the central bank to have laws into place.
We're not used to central bank to have laws. We have laws into place that the central bank can use to manage the loan program.
What kind of law?
Right? For example, right? We look at you and we look at your ability, but you want to learn something that you can use both national and international. Skills. We're not taking people that want to go study political science, sociology, and other area. We're looking at people who want to do engineering. Right? I started with students from Kenya. All the young guys that in America talking about, other than want to do engineering and other things, that they can have a better job in America and other countries. We want to bring the scene to this country. Whether it's on board, but that's something we want to revisit and make sure it works. We want to ensure that we send people. For example, something called CNC, right? That's a machine operating. They make some medical things. They make some iron product. We want to make people to go learn anything. What when you set Liberia?
What would be the criteria for?
The criteria we address, right? When you order high school, when you order high school, we're going to evaluate you. We need certain reference from your community, from the school you go to, from your church. We're going to your home to know where you live. We're going to your family, and based on that documentation, we'll have other than signing to it. A letter, right? Documentation that will guarantee if we give the young person or the person that money to go to school, In return, upon the education and having a job opportunity, they pay a mentor to use in order for them to get it.
And where the
Right?
government will get that money from?
The government,
Mhm.
when you say government, it means money, right? No, on the clear note,
Okay.
it means money, right? There are a lot of things we wastefully spending on. It could be upfront.
Let's be
Right?
honest. Let me tell you. I know
Where
you want,
honesty- where
I
honesty
know
come
you're
from?
running. It's just being sincere to the people who you want to represent.
Right.
Because if you know that if these people elect you tomorrow, what you're saying here, there are procedures you must go through. If you're going to stand in front of lawmakers and say, this is my bill I'm producing, and this bill is going
This
to
is why I'm working with the bipartisan relationship. This is why independent candidate, and this is the reason I will use that arm to ensure that I have relationship across the board. That is my
in
first
as
prayer.
much as you have
There are another
relationship
prayer, right?
across the board,
So who will
the
see value?
lawmakers have to make
If
sure that
anybody, if anybody sees
money
value,
has to be
so Mr. President,
appropriated for
value,
that
then
to
that's an
happen.
issue.
Money has to be appropriated for that to happen. It doesn't just happen like that.
This is why we make the law. This is why we're going to present the case.
Yeah, you present
So
your
why the
case,
reason I'm representing my people?
but you representing, you're saying things here that you were not, when you carry to the
You see it,
legislature, it is
Papa,
not
you
just
see it as
going to
It's
happen
not
as
just
you
possible,
say
as you
it.
saying it.
It's not
It's
gonna
not just
happen like
possible.
that.
It has to go through process.
So why is it I representing my people?
Oh, why
The
are
reason
all the
I
other people
representing my
representing
people
the people?
is to have the ability
Oh, so the other people
in
don't have
order
that
so
ability.
to present things on the table, work with my colleagues in order for them to
So
see
the fact
reason.
that you represent your people, so you're going to be law and gospel, is that
So
what you're
whatever
saying?
you say is going to happen,
You
right?
know, you the question you asked me, you're right. I know you asking because you want to clear the doubt of the public. Because when I speak on other things, then they ask me how possible they think they can work in the country. So my point is that how Liberia continue we keep going.
And that's not the point there.
So
You
if,
have
if,
to.
if it's working in your country, why is it can work in poor country?
It should work in Merit country, in fact. In Merit's country, it
So
should
why
work.
is it can work here?
That doesn't mean that when you
Do
say
you
it,
see
it's
this
gonna happen.
gesture? Do you see this that way? As someone who will go and present something and die easily, then it means that we're not living in a normal society.
Really?
I'm telling you this
So
today.
the people who are there, why do you think these things are not happening for them, and it's going to happen for only you?
This is why make me lawmaker of District 14.
Those other people are what?
Hmm?
The other people.
They know the
the
case.
Oh.
They can better address the issue, but I'm addressing my
Okay.
issue based on my
So
experience.
just round
and what
up.
I
So
have
let's go to
seen.
better
we can go
leadership,
to the line.
better leadership.
So we can go. No, yeah.
This
So we
is
can go
right.
to the
Yeah,
line.
better leadership.
So okay, let me speak on reconciliation because the educational aspect have the reconciliation
Yeah,
aspect we have
reconciliation.
on the table.
Yeah.
One of the things that stop development, right? You having the lawmaker got his own team. You having the superintendent have their own team, the commissioner have their own team, the elder council have their own team, the vice caucus got their own team, the growth council, and everybody have their own objective. And everybody disagreeing because their own objective have not yet been met. In our reconciliation, we want to ensure that people understand what matters most is the district. What matters most is the country. We'll have consultative meeting. We'll have town hall engagement. We'll have community engagement. We'll have conflict resolution programs. We'll have sport programs. We'll have elected. We'll have things that will bring people together. And we'll sit on a round table and put the bigger picture that matters most. Right? So as a leader, your primary concern in any developmental form is to reconcile your people. Right? It's to ensure to reconcile your people. You can treat me on the thing here. Yeah. To ensure you reconcile your people. So that would be my focus in order for us to move forward, to provide
So
a picture for better
you
reconciliation.
talk about reconciliation. How are you intending to work and reconcile with your major critics? Take for an example, someone in a district who always criticize you and say all of the detestable things about you, the wrong things and the falsehoods and all of that. How do you intend to reconcile with such a person?
The first thing, a politics, right? Right. You know, when you're leader, there are a lot of bitter pills you have to swallow.
Okay.
And this is the weakness of our present lawmaker. You have to be smart enough. The thing is that when you are a leader, you must be prepared to take a lot of bullets, right? Be prepared to take a lot of bullets. The most important thing is for you to ensure that things that needs to be done, be done. If it's possible, you go to those and act those to reconcile in order for the common good of our district, This is why
Will you take criticism?
Right? I take criticism a lot.
Even
and
now?
I play with it. I do that.
Do you like people who criticize you?
In my district, or that people are interact more. In my district, they call me American boy. They call me American citizen. They call me deportee. I laugh with it because I left 2000.
Are you a deportee?
I just went to school for what grounds, right? So I just say
giving some of
the picture, that propaganda. So that thing that I will get picture too.
Let's go to the line.
So let's speak on the better leadership.
But all of these things encompass the better leadership.
In the better leadership, there are more productive part I have to explain. But if that was the reason I'd ask you, give me the opportunity, let my people listen to what I want to say.
But if you are providing education, you're providing traditional this and that, these are all better leadership.
I got more.
These are signs.
Like any of them. You're not like any of the normal politicians, believe me. Okay. So don't say you don't want to be like them. You're totally different from them.
Okay, this is what I want to address. In my better leadership, I spoke about the resource center, right? And we want to industrialize that district. People say the district industrialized, but we want to use the technological industrialization approach. I'm an IT expert by background. My business, I got my small business I got in America. At a certain point, I hire people from India, Philippines, and other countries. I was paying them $3, $4, $5. You know what they were doing? They were just doing my admin job. They were doing call center. They were sending emails to customers. They were doing marketing, and I was paying them for that money. We can do the same in Liberia.
Is that business still operational? Huh? Is it
the business
operating?
Still functioning.
What's the name of the business?
ARGC Group.
Where?
LLC. It's in Minnesota, but it's May West focus, right? So my
point
is that
to May West focus.
I sold out what?
Your business, because I hearing different name. That's what I'm asking. You
sold it
to another person
in the May West, North Dakota, South Dakota, Iowa, Wisconsin. We operate on that, so it's the May West area.
You are the
owner?
In
May West focus. I'm the owner.
Okay.
Right. So in May West focus. So what I'm saying in short is that we take people from another country and make them make money. And Liberians speak better English than the Indian, the Filipino, and the Chinese. And America hire these people. So, for example, there are a big company called Target. Target go to India, they go to China, they go to other countries, they take huge number of people and take them and carry them to America. After 1 year, they go back. They carry not less than 80,000, 100,000, other things, and they develop the country. Because of that, India got call center, they got IT, help desk era. They got a lot of things.
So you're taking
this is one of the.
So you're taking off here and carrying on to America.
No, this is one of the bill I want to introduce. We're not just going to go there, right? This is not one of.
You give a minute.
No, this is one of the things. You know, we always look at Liberia.
So what the bill will be about?
But this is the bill. They call it the business process outsourcing, meaning that we want to train people in a lot of discipline and get contracts. For example, this is ELBC. You got computers all in the rooms here, right? You just train a lot of people. Maybe the person is a back-end developer, front-end developer. The man is a graphic developer. This man is quality assurance developer. We use our expertise and look for the same way I get contracts. Train the young people. We need good electricity. We need good internet. And this is one of the reasons we want to look into the internet bill.
So you're training them and do what?
We train them with just assigning. First shift, second shift, third shift. You work within that place. This is one of the bill we want to pass the government. We want to bring the human resource into this country. Like I said, some people will be quality assurance. Like you develop app for the big company in America. They want to test the app. The quality assurance testing the app. The QA people testing the app.
Why you can just say doing that kind of business? You want to go to the house
because we want to bring something new to Liberia. We always carry everything. No, because we want to pass the law. The first thing we want to ensure that internet is available for the people. For example, they think you put on ELBC. After 10,000 leg or some number of leg, you make money out of it.
Please speak to the.
You make money out of it. Right? So we want to teach our generation how to make money. We want to teach our generation. They know, but you have to introduce it right to them. You got to make it, let them build that culture. Be culture oriented. Let them get that. We want to initiate the process into them. The first thing we want to make sure telecommunication, internet build cheap in the country. Government will feel that they're losing a lot of things. But when you have a lot of young people trained and they get outsourcing job, You can take taxes on it. The tax you're supposed to take from Orange, the tax you're supposed to take from Lone Star, you can take that same tax from the young people. We can create an opportunity.
Okay,
Our
let's
plan,
go
they
to
have
the
done a lot of things.
Mr.
But
Neil.
there are a lot of things we got to say, but we use them as people ask questions.
Exactly.
Right? I don't
So-
want to be thinking on the old thing. Library can get better. And in my generation, we will set the pace. And I prepare for that as the next lawmaker. Thank you.
He's so interesting and so firing. 0880-514-096 are the numbers. Good evening.
Good evening, and let me say good evening to the intellectual guru in Madam Titi Foka Jibo. My name is David Garagowita, and I'm phoning from electoral district number 14. Let me say to Mr. News, Madam Jibo is a very hard-kick talk show host that cannot go in the studio with her ill-prepared. Our district currently, Madam Jibo, is in balance with its current lawmaker, who is intellectually...
Not your district, that income lawmaker.
I'm just saying this so that you understand what our district is currently going through. Our lawmaker is the kind of man who is intellectually bent and administratively impaired. Therefore, I'm not sure whether the district has a space for Mr. News in studio. Since the end of studio today, I've been following the station. We have been asking you for time, and all the time that you have given, you have absolutely said nothing to show that his platform, his capital platform, carry any policy to address any of the problems confronting the people of electoral district number 14. So I think he should come back to our district, do himself, be honest to himself, to come back to our district and
So the district doesn't suffer what the thing mean this pollution issue. There's no pollution issue in the district because he spoke about that. You say he said nothing.
No, the governor of Liberia, through his excellency, Dr. George Manuel, is already addressing the issue.
The man does not want to be president, please. Understand the scope.
Okay, Maize is ensuring that all the waterways and drainages in our communities and districts are clean so that
please don't put the blame on president. We are here alone can do all. The man won't be represented. He won't be president.
That's why I'm saying he have a knowledge of what is happening to the people of our district.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you very much. Let's get this next caller. Good evening.
Good evening. How are you?
Good evening, sir. What's your name and where you come from? Sir, can you stop listening to the monitor instead?
Please lower the volume of your radio.
Let's leave him off the line. Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening, sir. Go ahead. What's your name and where you come from?
Yeah, thank you. I'm calling you at District 15.
Go ahead.
Yeah, living the studio guy. And he said people from America there. So I want to ask you, since you've America, how many persons carry to America for study? Thank you.
Thank you. How many persons? 0880514-096. The numbers 0880514-096. Could we have an alternative orange number? Let's take the Lone Star. Good evening.
Good evening. How are you, sir?
We are fine.
I'm Leo and I call you about you, sir.
Go ahead, sir.
I just want to know whether the show is a P4 show or it was just in an invited guest. Because they came to the studio with a platform. And I think the way in which you people are proceeding is that you're not giving him a chance to put his points through. And it should be clear. As much as running for the position, you gave him the opportunity to say what you want to say. Let him learn. Let him craft his message in a way that his supporters can understand, or people that are not even supporting him craft it to what you have to say so that they can vote for him. This is campaign time. But interjection, around distraction, and all that, especially when you want to go high on government, people don't give him a chance.
He's not going high on government.
He's
laying his platform, sir.
You're distracting me by even because this issue is what is government. This radio station, I'm a taxpayer. There's a reason why the radio station can't be independent in this time. Gotta be clear with that. Not for you that government, when somebody interrupt and you want to be you're not correct with that. We gotta give people a chance to speak.
Sir, this man is not attacking anybody. He's telling you and the people of District 14 what he's capable of doing. He's not attacking anybody here.
Yeah, I know he attacked somehow because he talked about wasteful spending. The moment he gets to wasteful spending, you interject. And it's wrong. When the man said about wasteful spending, he was justify how the government wasteful spending the country money.
Hello.
I'm getting you.
You want to speak for him? So you can justify the wasteful spending.
Oh, Titi, listen.
I'm not. No, you've had your time. Oh, you've had your time. You asked a question. You didn't even wait for an answer. You jump into our throats. We're not here to, if somebody comes on the radio, we are asking the questions the people in the district will not be able to ask because they're not here. So we're not here to babysit anybody. If you say something, we will ask you the questions. You must be ready as a leader to answer those questions because these people want to hear.
Hold on, sir.
People want to hear that, sir. I'm sorry if he's your candidate or he's your friend and you don't like.
He's not man. I mean,
that's how we conduct our shows here. We ask questions. We don't wait for you to finish everything before we might forget.
Because we have to interject to correct something. Yes, sir.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, we have a very friendly show. 0880-514-096 are the numbers to call, and you talk to Mr. Chester Nees, representative candidate, district number 14, independent as well, telling the people of district number 14 what he's capable of doing and what he can present to the parliament if you give him the authority to be your next representative. Let's go to the lines and talk to this person. Good evening.
Let's go to the lines and talk to this person.
Do you lower the volume of your radio? We don't want to hear you, please. Hello?
I keep listening to that. Good evening.
Yeah. Good evening.
Go ahead, sir. What's your name and where you call from?
Yeah, thank you very much. My name is Vani Golafale. I do join you from Maryland County, Harper City, and I'm also a resident of District 14, Cloudtown. Thank you very much.
Go ahead, Vani.
Yeah, I do follow the show of Mr. Nair, and I know him very well. I know his track record. Let me be very much clear tonight. Actually, he spoke well, and I think the people of District 14, Cloudtown, do community and that and rest of the area that I'm encouraging them tonight that they have listened to the platform of Mr. Nair. I think that he has said it all, and I'm encouraging all of my comrades from that district that they should support Mr. Nair to be the next representative of that district. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
In Harpo, you voted here?
Where in Harpo?
Yes,
thank you. Good evening.
Yeah. Good evening.
I'm sure the Mr. Nair won't vote. Encourage him for the vote.
Go ahead, sir. What's your name and where you call from?
I'm calling from Granger, Cassilis Dreadru.
Go ahead from Dreadru.
Yeah. Okay, my name is Nelson Sibinia. You from Granger, Dreadru.
You have the time, sir.
I want to know the protection of the studio guests right now, because I want to know what all the criteria, all the things that you want to do when you go to the parliament or go to the parliament. Why was you now set example in Liberia, or you want to enter that before you start doing the portion of what the government want to do?
Okay. What are you set example in Liberia? Let's go to the lines. Good evening. Good evening.
Yeah, good evening.
Please listen to your phone instead of the monitor. Good evening. What's your name and where you call from?
My name is Max here.
Calling from where, sir?
My name is Max. Calling from my Gibby.
Go ahead, sir.
Gibby, Burma Road.
Go ahead.
Okay. One thing.
Oh, we lost you. Maybe we'll take maybe 2 or 3 more calls, and then we get back to Mr. Nees. 0880-514-096 are the numbers, and we will take 2 or 1, and then we get back to our studio guests to wrap up on some of the things that he didn't say and he would like to say.
Maybe we should go back to Mr. Nees.
Yes, let's go back to him. I will give him a little more
Thank
time.
you. Let me speak with regards to my better leadership about addressing the issue of outsourcing, right? Another bill I want to pass.
Outsourcing.
Yeah. Business operator, you can be accounting, you be computer expert, you can be whatever. But what I realize all the time is that we don't have the job opportunity in this country. And based on our own experience, based on my own experience and what I've learned all the time, we can create room for jobs through the outsourcing, right? Example, in that bill.
If you say outsourcing, one Oman somewhere does not understand outsourcing.
Right.
So
That's what I want to do right now, right? When we talk about outsourcing, meaning that someone can take you from another point of job to bring you to another point to get a job, right? Yeah, because I want to explain. Let me break it down. Okay. So, example, right? I'm an IT expert, right? And maybe cyber security, and I apply for a job, right? I got my security clearance because you need security clearance to get cyber security job, and they hire me in America. The only thing I need to put my computer right in the corner there and make sure I get electricity good, and make sure I got internet and get a laptop. They send me the package with the software, everything, the platform I'm supposed to work on, and I leave right there at work. When I want to be app developer, I want to do QA, and some backend or something, maybe administrative, network administrator for a company. But that company way in America, maybe London. But they're making sure the server running good, the switch, the router for the internet, the system to work good, doing backend, something called remote monitor and management. On the customer PC, they're working, but anything that can resolve it from here. So there are a lot of things. So I want to pass a bill. I want to pass a bill, right? I presented a bill that I would love it with my team that this can work in this country, right? But we'll do a case study. We'll do a case study in the country, and you guys going to see how it's going to work. So one of the things we can do to have it effective.
It's not the thing. The thing is, you must have electricity 24/7.
Look, that's why they got solar panel, they got generator, and over the time since I've been in the country, I've been sleeping well on electricity. I recommend the government for that, right?
Thank you.
So we can do that. The only thing, look, first they ask government, look,
I think Michael wants to ask you a question. In fact,
that orange, reduce the internet. Let's get a structure. Let's get a structure in the country. Maybe we say in my district will be the first example. We build our structure, will be soundproof because we're going to be making calls. It will be a loss that the government can attend to. But like I said, we're going to set the example with a structure through my initiative, through the legislative initiative. You would do as a next lawmaker.
But why you can do that on your own?
It's not an easy thing. It's not a smart thing to do. There are a lot of regulations you're going to go through. Okay. It has to do with communication. It has to do with internet. Right? There are a lot of policy you have to put into place for it to get effective. But it got a lot of job creation.
But that's what I'm saying.
And I want to go do that research. Go to
my thing is
business processing outsourcing. How INA started and where INA is today.
I agree with you, right? And I'm not disputing what you're saying, but if you are, somebody who has knowledge in all of that and know exactly how that works, you should have a small, business. This is like what I told you. Your district
before
running.
In support of that, Mr. Nees, in support of that, someone called and said, "What have you done in Liberia?" As an example,
the lives of
I got a computer school now.
Yes, a computer school.
I got over 500 people offer the scholarship. Some going, some not going. And after the election, I
make people in your district.
I get 500 scholarship out.
And the people refuse?
Computer knowledge.
Yeah. And the reason why I'm doing this because I want to get it basic. I want to push more people in the technical.
So the concept is
this concept. This is an example I laying right. I'm building them after this election as the next lawmaker will be the same people are pushing to train it into a lot of discipline.
What if you don't win?
When I the next lawmaker district 40.
And don't doubt it.
If I don't win, I will exercise, but it will not be to the extreme I want to. Because I want to make government pass a law that will get it effective. It will provide more income than anything you ever think about.
Computer school in your district and you get 500 scholarships.
It's not in my district. But the people from my district on Benson Street, that's where I landed and I started.
Oh,
Yeah, we got a
okay.
capacity issue, and other thing has to do with a lot of things.
Yeah, they don't have money to pay their way to
Space,
go to school. Maybe
space,
that's
and
why.
other things. Yeah, no, it affected them. I agree with you on that.
So what do you
We're
have
trying
in
to
your
transfer.
district?
I do a radio station right now because election are slowing down. I don't have the money. I have the equipment already in the country.
Okay.
The radio station and studio. Apart from that, the old folks program, I've been carrying it on in the district. And it impacted a lot of old people. Example, the educational program, I still have people. I don't have it right now. I think I'm looking to have 50. And I got a couple of them, right? And apart from that, I have educated people. I have educated people.
Where?
That not even part of my people from master program, other things. I have done it in my district and even in Liberia as large. I have built structure for old people.
Where?
I have sponsored Clarendon. Right? I have done. Look, they are uncountable things. Just ask for ask the other old lady. Ask for Weber Island, and ask for them.
How many structures you build on Weber Island?
I pay one for an old lady, right?
But you say you have built structures for old people, so.
Okay, let me just restrict it to one, right?
Okay.
I don't want to talk about the rest of that because that was my target.
That was just one person.
But I will not say the other rest, right? But I have done beyond that. There are things I have done individually that wasn't listed. But let me come back to my agenda,
no, we don't
right?
have much time.
But you gave me the opportunity, right?
Down.
Yeah, so just like you're wrapping up. Just like you're wrapping up. I think you have.
Let me wrap up.
In you.
But you know, like she's strong enough to break people down, but Chester is not a person that can easily break people down. Like the young man said, I'm not easily. I can fall to that because I'm here to present an issue. My wrapping up comment, let me just say this, right? I hope I have another opportunity where I can explain in detail. Because there are a lot of things I brought to the table. We wanted to deliver, right? But the opportunity wasn't given. Like I said, I want to industrialize the district. I didn't even touch that part of my industrialization skills I want to bring to the table. But I will say this from a party comment. Those that in technology, those reading IT, studying IT from all end of the university level, I want to give me the support. I know you may not register in my district, but I want you to come in my district and let's have conversation in order because we want to create laws that will be in the interest of those that are learning technology. I have seen people who got bachelor degree in IT, even know how to do anything in technology. We need to create laws that institution, university in this country can provide the necessary equipment when students leave from there. They should have possible on hands and can present a set to the outside society. Like I said, we want to have an outsourcing picture. These are the people are looking up to in order for them to have job opportunity outside there instead of them thinking that only job going to be here. And I ask him at district, they know very clearly this is a competition and a worth electing the right person. Chester Tawri Amanis is the right candidate of that district. Asking my people and asking everyone that went into that district for another district that was chucked for another district.
You didn't instruct them.
Corruption.
You didn't instruct them, but
I want them to look into the conscience and let the best person that can better represent the district. In as much they receive what they receive, but they should consciously go back and let the right person that can represent the people.
Who you chose?
Look, shocking people is corruption. It's nasty. It's evil.
But then you actually want to vote for you.
Because they have already done it. In order to make our district law, they already get a card. So two options they have. They either leave there or they can't vote for me in order for the district to get a better person.
A corrupt vote for
Mr. C reason to vote me and those that went out there.
His name is Chester Nice, representative candidate.
Yeah, thank you, District 14 matter the most and Liberia as well.
Thank you very much.
For the opportunity. I hope to come back and have better opportunity instead of you coming into my picture like that. Thank you.
I will come into your court when you come here.
His name is Chester Nees, and he's representative candidate district number 14. Chester Nees, we want to say thank you very much for honoring our invitation, and we look forward to having more of these conversations. And up next tomorrow is Abdullah Katamba, and we'll be also having WIMB following on Wednesday.
So thank you, sir, for, Like Washington said, thanks for coming. We wish you all the best in district number 14 as we go to elections. Few days from now, we will be, electing a new core of leaders.
Thank you. And just get ready to invite me as the next lawmaker. Then I start telling you how we're taking the district to another level.
No problem.
And Liberia going to benefit. ELBC going to benefit through my expertise.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Have a pleasant evening. Thanks to every one of you for listening.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
From the east to the west, north to the south, let's come together as one. They say you're not there, we stand, divided we fight. If we not celebrate, we do it for you.